think it's one of them things with football, it just hooks you. And I think I went with my sister when she was more of a fan. And she was the one who really got me into it. My first sort of few years were sort of the great entertainers years of Joe Royle, and that sort of really got me hooked on it, really. Seeing all those goals at both ends, sort of seeing a little bit of that now at the minute. But no, it just started from there. And when you're playing at the same time, you just want football all the time. Yeah, that's probably when it started, and it's been hooked ever since. Haven't been able to go as much as I'd have liked, but now I'm a little bit older. The addiction is still very much alive and kicking, really. From that great entertainers team, you've got the likes of Chef Kikuchi, Darren Bent coming through the academy. Darren Ambrose was there a little while as well. Tommy Miller, those sorts of players that, when they go out on the pitch, they want to entertain the fans and, score lots of goals and make it an exciting afternoon for everyone, really. Fabian Wilders is another one, a sort of a stalwart who's sort of bleeds blue, and he was here for a very long time. And they just stick with you through your time as a fan. Those are players that you always latch onto. Probably have a little bit fonder memories than some people, because that's my golden generation for me.
Yeah.
Those sorts of players really sort of helped you get hooked and become an Ipswich Town fan. I and everyone who sits or stands in the stadium would say that they are a part of Ipswich Town. It's such a big part of your life, and you're thinking about it even when you're not here. I'm sitting here in an empty stadium, and I'm still thinking about sort of the memories that you've got. There's such an energy around the place, all those moments, and it's your unique perspective on the history of the club. There's 30,000 seats in the stadium, and every one of these fans has got a different view of what's happened and a different period of time. It bookmarks your life. There'll be people at home watching this who they've grown up, had their period of being a young lad, going to football every Saturday, spending their hard-earned part-time jobs on tickets, going through a period of being an Ipswich Town fan as an adult, and then they're coming back with their kids, and it's a completely different experience, and they've got all those memories to go on. But yeah, I think it is a part of you. I think it's almost like a first love. Once you know, then you are an Ipswich Town fan, and it just sticks with you. It never goes away, no matter where you're living. If you're living on with a view of Portman Road, or you're halfway across the globe, you will always be an Ipswich Town fan. I like to be with the atmosphere. I think when I was a kid, I used to sit down in Block JJ, and the North Stand is always thunderous. I always remember Alex Ferguson saying that Portman Road, it sounded like there was 60,000 in here as opposed to what there was. And it's just that atmosphere you've got to be a part of. I remember always walking. I always had trouble getting to my seat because the concourse is so busy and so passionate with fans singing, those songs, singing their hearts out before the game's even begun. That's that sort of passion, and I think I just want to be part of the people who've got the same addiction as me. I think there's quite a few, I'd say, fanatics in this stand, people who do anything to watch their team travel the length and breadth of the country, even the world when we were a little bit more successful, going across Europe on those magical European nights. That's what it's all about, and I think you're rubbing shoulders with people. You may not necessarily speak to them all the time, but even when you do, it's those memories. And the people that tend to sit in the North Stand, I find, when you do talk to them, and you may have a completely different experience, like I said, we've all got a different interpretation of the history and a different view of the history. I'm jealous of people who got to see more greater times than me, but I'm so proud that it's my club, the little club from Suffolk, that could. We went to Europe, we've never lost at home in Europe here, and you see it in the eyes. We may not have had fortunate times of late, but still talking to those fans now, you can see it, and it just lights up their face when they talk about it. They're so proud, and that pride is something that I think Ipswich has always had. We may not have had the best times recently, but I think the reason why it's hurt so much is because we're so proud of this club and we want to see it get back to where it was. I think it's an escape, really, for a lot of people. I think, it's a chance to put your life on hold for however long, a whole afternoon, and just forget about it. And no matter what you're going through in your life, and I think a lot of times it's been a good distraction for people. And I think that other times it is a good place to come and vent some rage, more so recently than in the past. But No, for me, this is where I've met some of my greatest friends and friends I'll have for years to come, and that's all because of Ipswich Town. We've got that common interest, that common passion for this football club, and the people I've met through doing things like this and other sort of podcast sort of things, all because of Ipswich Town. I'm grateful for that, and I wouldn't have that without Ipswich Town.